Good evening, everyone. This is a pre-record of this evening's, or a post-record, I suppose, of this evening's pub quiz. We had all kinds of connection troubles this evening. We restarted it once, and it seemed fine, and then it dipped out. So what I'm going to do is re-record it, run through the entire quiz. I miss you all terribly already, not having you on chat, because that keeps me ticking along. But if you're watching on the premiere, please play along at home and take part. If you've never played the Living Room Pub Quiz before, then all you need to do is put a team together at home, write the answers down, mark them yourselves, pop your scores into the chat as we're going along. Please don't post the answers, because everyone wants to play in their own teams and not have the fun of it spoilt for them. And I'm going to sit and go through the entire set of questions without anyone chatting to me while I'm doing it. But please, by all means, if you're watching the premiere, chat along. I'll try and join in as well and tap along on my keyboard. Enjoy the quiz. This is week 9, a re-record of week 9. Week 10 next week is our final week, and I was hoping this week was going to be an absolute stormer, but these things happen. So we'll re-record it, put it up on YouTube for you to enjoy. And let me know if you have fun. We'll be back for week 10 next week, and please join in for that, because it'll be the last one. For the foreseeable future, we might come back and do some specials. But let's get on with the quiz. So I'll give you about 20 seconds for each one, each question, and then we'll go through the answers after each round. I just need you to mark the answers down. Pop in the chat or in the comments what your score is after each round. Don't post the answers in, please. Let's go. Week 9, take 2. Off we go. Okay, round 1. General knowledge. Warsaw is the capital city of which country? Warsaw is the capital city of which country? Question 2. What is the name of the animal often dubbed the unicorn of the sea? What is the name of the unicorn often dubbed the unicorn of the sea? Question 3. The Hay Wain by John Constable depicts a rural scene on which river? The Hay Wain by John Constable depicts a rural scene on which river? Okay. Question 4. How many ghosts visit Scrooge in A Christmas Carol? How many ghosts visit Scrooge in A Christmas Carol? Question 5. Who sang the 80s version of I Think We're Alone Now? Who sang the 80s version of I Think We're Alone Now? Question 6. A deficiency of which vitamin can cause scurvy? A deficiency of which vitamin can cause scurvy? Question 7. What sport is played with stones and brooms? What sport is played with stones and brooms? Question 8. Who was the movie actress that played opposite Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing? What was the movie actress that played opposite Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing? And on to question 9. Who was the Greek goddess of victory? Who was the Greek goddess of victory? And on to question 10, last one for this round. Which was the first London Underground railway line to be built? Which was the first London Underground line to be built? There we go. That's all the questions for round 1. If you're playing along during the live premiere, please post your score or what you think your scores are into the chat, and then we'll go through the answers, and then you can tell me how well you got on. I'm James, by the way, co-founder of Big Drop Brewing Company. We've been doing this living room pub quiz for 9 weeks now. Technology's usually been on our side, but this week's a pre-record. Next week's the final week. If you want to know more about why our pattern is quite so summary this week, down in the description will be a link to find out more. You can pre-register for information, and then towards the end of this month we will give you all the amazing news about what this pattern means and how you can order what we're going to be releasing. Okay, let's go through the answers for round 1, which was general knowledge. Warsaw is the capital of which country? Capital city of which country? It is Poland. Question 2. What is the name of the animal often dubbed the unicorn of the sea? If you were playing along live for this bit, you'd have seen my daughter Nola very eagerly answer this one. It's her favourite animal. It's a narwhal. Number 3. The Hay Wain by John Constable depicts a rural scene on which river? The Hay Wain by John Constable depicts a rural scene on which river? Answer is the Stour. Number 4. How many ghosts visit Scrooge in A Christmas Carol? If you'd said the answer was 3, you would have been wrong. The answer is 4. Number 5 was who sang the 80s version of I Think We're Alone Now? The answer is Tiffany. Question 6. A deficiency of which vitamin can cause scurvy? Answer to question 6 is vitamin C. Question 7. What sport is played with stones and brooms? The answer is curling. Question 8. Who was the movie actress that played opposite Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing? Answer is Jennifer Grey. Number 9. Who was the Greek goddess of victory? Who was the Greek goddess of victory? Was Nike. Number 10, last one for this round, was which was the first London Underground railway line to be built? Which was the first London Underground line to be built? It was the Metropolitan line. There we go. That's the end of round 1 on week 9 redo. If you're watching along during the premiere, post your score into the chat. Let's see how you got on. Also, it'd be good to know if you've come back from the live stream to play again. So give us a hello if you're back in from the failed attempt at the live stream. Hope you did well on the scores. Let's do another round, shall we? Okay. Round 2 is What's the Movie? I'm going to show you a series of still frames from 10 films, and I'd like you to tell me what the film is. Just the title of the film. I don't need to know the name of the actors, just the title of the film. 10 questions, off we go. Number 1. Give you about 20 seconds for each of these. Number 2. If you're tuning into the pub quiz for the first time, thank you for joining us. It's not the usual format. Number 3. We try and do it live each week, but the internet trolls, demons, bugs, ghoulies, whatever, were against us this week, so we're doing this as a pre-record. Number 4. And on to number 5. Thanks to Rian from the Big Drop team who put these together this week. Number 6. Just the name of the film for each of these, please. This is one of my favourite films, actually. Okay, on to number 7. And number 8 for this round. It's the second time this guy's appeared in the living room pub quiz. He popped up as a baby a few weeks ago. Number 9. Classic 90s comedy. And last one for this round is number 10. There we go. Round 2, movies round. If you're playing along on the premiere, please post what you think your score is into the chat. Let me know how you got on, or how you think you got on, and we'll go through the answers shortly. Okay. Round 2, what's the movie round? Let's go through the answers. Number 1 was A Star is Born, or the most recent version of that film. Number 2 was Crash. Number 3, great film, was Get Out. Number 4, one for the Boston Bruins fans. Number 4 was Happy Gilmore. Number 5 was Legally Blonde. Number 6 was Lost in Translation. Number 7, with the slightly quirky spelling, is The Pursuit of Happyness. Number 8 was, of course, Saturday Night Fever. Number 9 was There's Something About Mary. And number 10 for the round was Miss Congeniality. There we go. That's that round done. Round 2, the films round. If you're watching along on the premiere, post your scores down in the chat. Let's see how you got on. Thanks for all playing along this week. Slightly different format, as I said earlier. We had some technical problems, so I'm re-recording the entire quiz for this week, for week 9, and posting it on so you can watch along at another time. Okay, round 3 is geography. Okay, let's get started. Question 1. Which river runs through the city of Budapest? Which river runs through the city of Budapest? Question 2. In which county in the UK would you find Stonehenge? In which county in the UK would you find Stonehenge? Question 3. Which other Scandinavian country can you get to from Denmark via the Øresund Bridge? Which other Scandinavian country can you get to from Denmark via the Øresund Bridge? I apologise for my pronunciation. Okay, question 4. What is the capital city of Cuba? What is the capital city of Cuba? Okay, on to question 5. Which sea would you find on the east coast of Italy? Which sea would you find on the east coast of Italy? Question 6. Which small European country borders Germany, France, and Belgium? Which small European country borders Germany, France, and Belgium? Question 7. What weather phenomenon happened in the Sahara Desert in 1979? What weather phenomenon happened in the Sahara Desert in 1979? Question 8. Which South American country has a flag that features a face in the sun? I'll accept 2 answers for this. Which South American country has a flag that features a face in a sun? Okay, on to question 9. What is the name of the highest mountain in Scotland? What is the name of the highest mountain in Scotland? And question 10 for the round. Which is the largest populated city in Germany? Which is the largest populated city in Germany? Okay, that is the end of that round, round 3. If you're watching on the premiere, pop your answers, or pop what you think you got in terms of a score into the chat. Please don't post any answers, just so we can keep it as competitive as possible. And let's go through the answers, shall we? Okay, round 3 was geography. 10 questions, here come 10 answers. Question 1 was, which river runs through the city of Budapest? The answer is the Danube. Question 2, in which county in the UK would you find Stonehenge? The answer is Wiltshire. Question 3. Which other Scandinavian country can you get to from Denmark via the Øresund Bridge? Pronunciation is all over the shop. I apologise. The answer is Sweden. Question 4. What is the capital city of Cuba? The answer is Havana. Question 5. Which sea would you find off the east coast of Italy? What sea would you find off the east coast of Italy? The answer is the Adriatic. Question 6. Which small European country borders Germany, France and Belgium? Which small European country borders Germany, France and Belgium? The answer is Luxembourg. Number 7. What weather phenomenon happened in the Sahara Desert in 1979? It snowed, believe it or not. Number 8. Which South American country has a flag that features a face in the sun? I would accepted 2 answers. One of them was Uruguay, the other is Argentina. Question 9 was, what is the name of the highest mountain in Scotland? That is Ben Nevis. And question 10, which is the largest populated city in Germany? The answer is Berlin. There we go. That's the end of that round. If you're watching on Premiere, pop what score you got into the chat. Let's share with everyone how you got on. And we'll shortly move on to round 4, which is the lyrics round this week. So I'm going to read out some lyrics to you. I would like you to tell me the name of the artist who performed it. So I don't need the name of the song. I don't need the name of the songwriter if it wasn't the artist. I just need the name of the performing artist who originally performed these songs. Okay, 10 questions. Question 1. Been running up that road, been running up that hill, be running up that building, see if I only could, oh. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building, see if I only could, oh. Number 2. And if you don't love me now, you'll never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Number 3. When I'm driving in my car and the man come on the radio, he telling me more and more, about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. When I'm driving in my car and the man come on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. Number 4. I can see a ship in the harbour. I can and shall obey, but if it wasn't for your misfortune, I'd be a heavenly person today. I see a ship in the harbour. I can and shall obey, but if it wasn't for your misfortune, I'd be a heavenly person today. Number 5. Ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low. Ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low. Number 6. What part of no don't you understand? I want a man, not a boy who thinks he can. What part of no don't you understand? I want a man, not a boy who thinks he can. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Number 8. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Number 9. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Now I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. And number 10, last one for the round. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down the underground to a dive bar in a West End town. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down underground to a dive bar in a West End town. Sorry. There we go. That's the 10. I'll give you a few more seconds to figure out that last one. And if you're watching on Premiere, please post what you think your score is for that round into the chat. Let's share with the others what you think you got, and I will go through the answers shortly. Okay, off we go for round 4, lyrics round. One more to go after this. Let's go through the answers. Number 1, be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. See if I only could. Oh, was Kate Bush. Number 2, and if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Is Fleetwood Mac. Number 3, when I'm driving in my car and the man come on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. Was Rolling Stones. Number 4, I see a ship in the harbour, I can and shall obey, but if it wasn't for your misfortune, I'd be a heavenly person today. Was New Order. Number 5, ashes to ashes, funk to funky, we know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low. Was David Bowie. Number 6, what part of no don't you understand? I want a man, not a boy, who thinks he can. Is Spice Girls. Number 7, There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Was eagles. Number 8. Rise up this morning, smiled with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Was Bob Marley. Number 9. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Was the always great Johnny Cash. Number 10, last one for the round. Call the police, there's a madman around, running down underground to a dive bar in a West End town. Might have got a clue from the last 3 words there. That is Pet Shop Boys. Okay, how do we do? If you're watching on Premiere, pop your scores into the chat. Let's share with everyone how you got on. And we'll shortly move on to the last round for this week. Okay. Final round for this week is the always popular logos round. I'm going to show you 10 letters from famous brands or company logos. I would like you to tell me what it is. Let's go. Number 1. Just need the full company name or the brand name. Number 2. Number 3. Hopefully you'll get this one. This is one of my favourite rounds because I don't have to talk as much and I can give my voice a rest. Number 4. So these are all pretty big companies. Hopefully, well, some household names. Number 5. Oh. Jumped around a bit there. Number 6. Another N. Okay, on to number 7. Just about managed to fit that one into the box. Number 8. Number 9. And last one, number 10. There we go. Okay, post how you think you did in the chat if you're watching on Premiere. Thanks for playing along this week. Slightly different in that we've had to pre-record it because the live feed had a few technical hiccups. But thanks for coming along and playing along as part of the Premiere. Hopefully you enjoyed the quiz. We'll have been chatting along, hopefully, as well, where possible. If you'd like to join us again next week, it'll be our final week. We're gonna stop doing this weekly. It's really good fun to do. It's also incredibly time consuming, and there's a lot of exciting things going on with Big Drop at the moment. So the team that's been working on this is going to go and go back to our regular jobs and focus on those for a bit. We may come back and do some specials, but please come back and join us next Tuesday for the last week of the Living Room Pub Quiz, hopefully without any technical hiccups. We'll see how we go. Okay, let's go through the answers to round 5 of the logos round. Number 1 was Amazon. Number 2 was Google. Number 3 was Disney. Number 4 was Suzuki. Number 5, second time for this one this week, in a slightly different format. Last one was a goddess. This one is a shoe. It's Nike. Number 6, Nespresso. Number 7 is Coca-Cola. Number 8 is eBay. Number 9 is the good old BBC. And number 10 is one of my kids' favourite brands. It's Haribo. It's one of mine as well, actually, but don't tell anyone. And there we have it. There's the end of week 9's re-record for the Living Room Pub Quiz. Thanks for coming back and joining in, or thanks for joining in if you missed it the first time round. Pop your scores, your final scores, into the chat if you're playing on Premiere. I hope you all did really well. I'll be watching along and trying to chat as we go, as this Premiere goes out. Thanks so much for playing. We do have one more round of sorts. If you've played before, you'll know that we do something called a social round. And every week we ask you to do something like wear all your jumpers, or draw a picture of a Big Drop can, or post a picture of your worst piece of clothing on social media, just to kind of get a bit of fun going outside the video. And there's been some great entries over the last few weeks, and we give away prizes every week. But it's slightly different this week because this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, and rather than get you doing things for us, I think it's worth being aware that you need to look after yourself, and you need to make sure that you are staying as mentally healthy and dealing with this situation with the lockdown as well as possible. So there's two things I'd really like you to do this week for Mental Health Awareness Week for the social round. The first one is just call on a neighbour, check how they're doing. Obviously social distance, but if there's someone near you who is vulnerable for one reason or another, just pop round and say hello. It can take 5 minutes and it can brighten someone's day. And the second most important thing is, if you're feeling anxious or vulnerable, check the link in the description down below. We've linked to some really helpful guides and articles from a mental health website about the lockdown. And if you need to get in touch with someone and chat over the phone, you can absolutely do that. So look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe. I think, fingers crossed, there's light at the end of the tunnel on this, but don't head out to the park or anything too soon. But obviously look after yourselves and stay safe, and make sure you're staying kind of mentally happy and healthy as possible. And if you do need to speak to someone, just reach out through one of the mental health charity websites and find someone to chat to on the phone. It is absolutely worth doing. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this week, week 9, the re-record. If you'd like to join us for the final week, week 10, we'll hopefully be able to do it live next week, all being well with the internet connection. Thanks so much for playing along this week. I hope you're all chatting loads in the chat feed. I will see you next week for week 10, the final week of the Living Room Pub Quiz. I've been James. I'm the co-founder of Big Drop Brewing Company, and thanks a lot. It's been very quiet this evening doing this re-record. I've usually got a chat stream flying along, so hopefully I can get stuck in with the chat while I'm watching myself back. Thanks a lot, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening, or whenever you're playing this, and I'll see you next week for week 10. Cheers.